Okay, so what is up, guys? This is Rylet finally bringing you another battle. This was versus XSquareStickIt from YouTube, I guess. We were talking on MSN, but I met him over YouTube. So this was an NU battle. So I lead off with Entei, and he leads off with Quillfish. I think it's Quillfish or Quill something. I use Eruption and I bring it down to the red, which sucks because I'm scarfed, and he Aqua Tails brings me to the red, and now Eruption is doing crap damage. He flails, probably predicting a switch, which was a good move on his part. But I bring in my Medicham, and it's scarfed too, so I finish it with Brick Break. He then brings in Sand Slash, and I know that this thing is very bulky, and I was predicting an Earthquake, so I switched into Dodrio, and I substitute, and he Rock Slides. And I keep substituting here to get the boost from my berry. And I was hoping at one point Rock Slide would miss, so I could hopefully get an agility, but it doesn't. And actually, accidentally here, I did misclick here, and I used Flail here. I should have I meant to substitute again, because that would have brought me down to 1 HP, would have activated my berry, and Flail would have been much more powerful. But, oh well, what are you going to do? So, I send in my Politoed. He switches out to his Ampharos, something like that, and Hypnosis misses. So I switch into my Porygon 2, and I Thunder Wave as he had set up Reflect. He uses Charge, which raises his special defense, and I Ice Beam, and obviously it really doesn't do anything at all. And then he got Paralyzed, which is kind of cool. Ice Beam again, I really have no idea why. I probably should have switched at that point. But anyways, he Focus Blasts, and it brings me down a little bit past half. And now I switch out because I realize, okay, I'm not going to be able to do anything. So I switch into my Politoed. Again, I actually have no idea why. Ah, right. I remember now. I Encore because I didn't want it to be attacking. So then after I Encore, he has to use Charge again. Then I switch into my Medicham, and he switches out to Luxray. He intimidates me, which kind of sucks, because now I got to switch out because I really can't do very much after Intimidate. But I switch out to Porygon, and able to intimidate him, and Thunder Fang misses, which is also pretty cool. So he sends in Glaceon, and I recover. And then I switch into Politoed, and actually pretty good prediction on his part. He was expecting that, and uses Hidden Power, which is Hidden Power Electric. So, I use Hypnosis there, miss with it again, and then he uses Hidden Power, and actually gets a crit, and is able to kill my Politoed, which kind of sucks. Because if I had a Hypnosis, maybe would have hit that time and would have been a little bit better. Anyway, so I switch into my Medicham, and he switches into his Luxray again, intimidates me, and I Brick Break. I switch into Porygon, obviously, to intimidate him, and he was predicting it, and Superpowers. But still, after the Intimidate, and just because Porygon is so damn bulky, it doesn't do very much. Because of the defense drop and the attack drop, he knows he can't do anything. So he switches out back to Ampharos. And I Ice Beam, and it doesn't do very much. So now I switch into Medicham, because I know I knew he was going to Reflect, but I knew Medicham also has Brick Break and can break it. So I shatter the barrier, and I bring it down a little bit past half, and then the static gets me, which kind of really sucked, actually, because that really cripples my Medicham. So then he switches into Sand Slash, and I Brick Break it, and it doesn't do very much because Sandslash is very bulky. So I switch into my Porygon. He Shadow Claws and doesn't affect me because I'm normal and Shadow Claw is Ghost. So he switches into Glaceon. I Ice Beam. That was a good prediction, and doesn't do anything. He Ice Beams me, and I think this does a lot more than I was expecting it to do. Yeah, and I got frozen. I didn't really have anything to switch into the Ice Beam, and I was going to Thunder Wave him there, but oh well, what are you going to do? So that sucked. So I switched into Medicham, just I guess hoping I can take at least one and Brick Break, but I can't. He dies. Then I switch into my Glaceon. I Shadow Ball, and I do get a crit here, but it still isn't able to kill him. He Ice Beams and brings me down to about half. He knew at that point I was locked into it, so he switches into Pidgeot, and then he finishes me off with Return. So, good game.